Hey guys, welcome back to my weekly videos. If you've never been to my page before, my name is Sarah and I make videos on faith-based content, self-development, life advice, and I just come on here and I share my thoughts and feelings with you guys. For this video for today, it's going to be very different than my regular videos. It is much lighter. I actually wanted to talk about food and nutrition on this video and share with you guys the types of things that I have removed and that I eat. So there's a few reasons I wanted to share this with you guys. One, just being an integrative wellness life coach. I'm not a certified nutritionist. However, we do think it's so important to focus on the physical as well. And personally, I have experienced in my life healing my body through nutrition 2 major times in my life when I was experiencing very bad symptoms when I was sick. And so I was able to heal my body that way. Another reason is because I found that the more that I started to realize my value and how God sees me, the more that I really wanted to honor everything I put in my body. And so I'm going to share some scriptures on this as well. And then another reason is because I believe that we eliminate, I don't know the percentage, but we definitely eliminate our chances of having a lot of sickness and disease when we're just keeping our bodies healthy in the first place. You definitely don't have to follow these things that I'm saying. Obviously, everyone has their own allergies, intolerances, you have to check with your doctor, you have to check with whoever it is that you're working with. But I want to share with you guys the types of things that I eat, and please feel free to be inspired by this. If you are, just take out whatever works for you and leave whatever doesn't, and I will just jump into it right now. Okay, and the last disclaimer that I wanted to say is that if you're not into health at all and you find this very overwhelming, don't worry about it. You don't have to do all of these things. I'm just sharing with you what I do. And also, if you're very into nutrition, I am aware of the fact that there's a lot of places that I can grow in, but this is currently what works for me and works for my lifestyle. All right, so I'm gonna go over some different categories. So the first one, I'm just gonna go over drinks. Basically what I have eliminated from my diet is any pop and any juice. So what I would say is that 80% of the time I'm eating healthy, 20% of the time I'm just indulging in what I like. Sometimes it's 90-10, it just depends. So I don't drink pop, I don't drink juice, but I will drink a lot of water and a lot of green tea. Green tea with nothing else in it, no honey, that's it. However, to treat myself, I will have a couple times a week, maybe 2 times a week, I'll have a coffee. And then let's say that would be maybe on the weekend when it is worth it to me. So again, with that, it doesn't mean that you have to remove all of those things. But for an example, when it's worth it to me, I'll have a pop on the weekend. I'll have a can of Coke on the weekend. But in my everyday, in the 80% of the time, which is for me, I like to do kind of Monday to Friday, then I eat healthy and I will not be having pop. But for an example, someone listening to this, maybe you drink pop every day. So maybe you just want to do it 3 times a week instead, or something like that that's realistic for you. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to share with you guys is carbs. So I do have a bigger appetite, and some of these alternatives are not filling enough for me, but I'm just going to share both of them with you guys. Also, just to let you know, about 8 months ago, I did a complete blood cleanse where I had absolutely no carbs, no sugar, no dairy, not literally none for 30 days, and it totally reset my system, and it was amazing. It was so good. And so I am taking a lot from what I was allowed to eat when I was on that cleanse, and I was also working with a naturopath at the time. But basically the bread that I was able to eat was surprisingly sourdough bread, but without any yeast and without any sugar in it. And I got that one from Whole Foods, and it's actually so good. So I was able to actually eat that one when I was on my cleanse. And I just actually love that bread. I think it's so good. But again, I'm not eating a loaf of it a day. I'll try to eat 1 slice and absolute maximum 2 slices. So that's what I currently have for bread. I know there are other options, but I think this bread is so good. And the fact that it makes my body feel good. So I really like it. I will also have brown rice, black rice, and then if I am going to have pasta, it's going to be rice pasta, or it's going to be the kind that's chickpea pasta or green pea pasta. But basically, just to get the point, I'm not going to be eating white bread, white pasta, nothing like that. Again, unless it's the weekend and then I'm not going to think about it. I'm going to go to a restaurant and order a huge plate of spaghetti, and I'm not going to question what's in it. But the other alternatives would be doing things like cauliflower rice, zucchini noodles, root noodles, couscous, quinoa. However, I have a big appetite, so those are generally not filling enough for me, and I will find that I have a hunger headache and I don't feel full. So some people don't have like as big of an appetite, so those could be really good alternatives as well. Okay, so the next one I'm going to cover is dairy. So I personally don't really consume dairy at all. I find that it makes me very bloated, gives me cystic acne, and causes a lot of inflammation in my body, which causes so many other types of issues. So basically with like milk alternatives, we all know there are so many different milk alternatives. Generally, I'll be drinking almond milk, oat milk, and I know that soy milk isn't great because of the estrogen. I really like the taste of it, so I'll try to do it less often. But again, that's going into like coffee, that's going into cereal. That basically is the alternative. I love cheese so much, but I don't really eat cheese during the week. I'll have it like on the weekend. I'll literally eat a pizza to my face with cheese on it, and I won't even question what's in it. I will just eat all of it. And then of course there are other alternatives where, let's say, having like cream cheese. I have this vegan cream cheese, and so there are so many different vegan options for like sour cream, cream cheese, anything that you would have with dairy, cheeses, and all that type of stuff. And I don't have any specific recommendations of brands because for the most part I actually just cut it out during the week altogether, and then I'll have on the weekend like a cheese pizza. And for mayonnaise, I will have olive oil or avocado mayonnaise. Okay, so now I'm going to cover sugar. So that's both natural sugar and refined sugar. But basically, I'm always checking the content for sugar. So let's just say when I go to get my oat milk or almond milk or even soy milk, I generally am getting the unsweetened one, unflavored one, unless it's vanilla and it doesn't have a lot of sugar added to it, but basically just checking the content level of sugar, that there's not a lot of sugar in there, and that just kind of goes for everything. So this is the same with buying like pasta sauce as well. For an example, like if we're getting like the big jar of it, it's not going to be like 4 cheese pasta sauce, like it's not going to have cheese in it. It's going to be just like a regular pasta sauce. I'm going to check how much sugar is in there, that there's really no added sugar. It's just the natural sugar from the tomatoes, and then it's going to have all the spices and everything in it. And then of course that goes with the drinks as well. That's why I don't really drink juices, even if it's like a natural juice, only because I'm picking and choosing what I want. I personally would rather wait until the weekend and eat ice cream than I would all week drinking a healthy juice that I'm still putting sugar into my body. This is controversial with fruits. I know a lot of people don't like to say that, like, there's a whole thing about fruit, but personally for me, I don't really eat a lot of fruit unless I'm just eating berries, and that's something that I was also able to have on my cleanse as well, just because it's still, I know that it's natural sugar, but I basically it just doesn't make my body feel good if I eat like a whole mound of like pineapple or something like that. So instead I will eat vegetables. And this is the same for sweeteners as well. So generally I won't even use honey during the week generally. But then again, on the weekends, I'm going to put honey in my tea or honey in my coffee, or I'll put honey over bread or whatever it is, or I'll just put sugar in my coffee. But either way, I'll just try to not have any type of sweeteners during the week. Okay, now I'm going to go over snacks. So basically what I'll do in between meals is I'm always drinking a lot of water, a lot of green tea. I used to absolutely hate vegetables, but ever since doing my juice cleanse, I actually crave vegetables so much now. So literally just cutting up a mountain of vegetables. So vegetables, also as a snack, I'll have hummus. I just check that it's like a cleaner hummus, and again, we can all make hummus from home as well. So like a cleaner hummus, and then the vegetables. I'll also eat rice crackers, which I was also allowed to eat on my cleanse. I think there is a lot of salt in them though, so I'm just careful a little bit with that, as well as eating seeds, nuts. And then my mom actually makes these really good like date balls. She basically just like grinds up like dates and almonds and stuff like that and creates these little like protein balls. Something I also stopped doing is eating protein bars for the most part. I used to probably eat like 3 protein bars a day, and I just kind of stopped eating protein bars. I am open to looking into ones that are healthier, but basically I'll try to stick to this type of just clean, healthy snacking. Okay, now when it comes to portion control, so there's like the regular big plates and then the smaller plates. I eat all my meals off of a smaller plate and I fill it up with food. I know it's a psychological thing when you see that your plate is full of food, as opposed to having a huge plate and having a little bit of food on it. And I eat until I feel comfortable. I don't eat until I feel full. And that has been so good for me in my digestion. Again, this is all stuff that I've just been feeling really, really works. I feel good. And so definitely it's not about under eating, but it's just that not getting to the point of being completely stuffed and you don't feel well, as well as chewing your food slowly and chewing and chewing your food a lot. If you think about anything that you like to eat, you can probably find a way to continue making it and make it healthy. I don't think I'm going to share any more ideas of the type of stuff that I eat because it is pretty basic and generic. But basically, just to sum it up, we're looking at our meals, like whatever it is that you like to eat. And I'm like, okay, how can I eliminate dairy from this? Or if I have to do an alternative for dairy, how can I make this a healthy carb? How can I make sure that the sugar content is much lower in this? And that's just in every single thing. And it's, again, that's with drinks, that's with food, that's with everything. And then on the weekend, I'll have like 2 meals that are like, let's say I'll go and have a burrito on the weekend and a pizza and then ice cream. And that's kind of it. Like, that's what I'll do for the weekend. Or when it's worth it. So instead of it being like a diet where you feel like you're restricting yourself, I find that over time, you really start to feel good and you really don't leave room for a lot more like sickness or disease or stuff like that because you're just being so good to your body. And actually, something else I wanted to mention, this is again just something that works for me. Generally, I will gravitate towards something that has a higher fat content as opposed to lower fat. Again, obviously, if it's good fats. So for an example, like I'll like cut an avocado in half, put extra virgin olive oil on it, put Himalayan salt on it and pepper, and I'll eat it with a spoon right out of the avocado, as opposed to like, let's say if you're looking at yogurt and it's like, oh, low in fat, but then most likely there's going to be more sugar in there. So that's something that I am basically not afraid of and I embrace is healthy fats. So again, this is not about restricting ourselves. It's also not about doing everything perfectly. Everyone has different lifestyle, different diets. I definitely find that preparing foods ahead of time, like cooking a lot of brown rice in bulk or just preparing the healthy things in advance, because if you're hungry and you go down to your kitchen and you don't have anything prepared or anything healthy that you even have in your refrigerator, it's going to be very hard to even eat healthy. So this is definitely not about making anyone feel anxious that they're not making the right decisions or that they have to run out and throw everything out of their refrigerator. It can just be really simple changes like, you know what, I'm actually not going to drink as much pop. I'm just going to drink less pop, or I'm going to stop drinking a glass of milk. I'm instead going to drink some almond milk or whatever it is. I just wanted to share this with you guys because again, I have personally seen food just change my life with the way that I've eaten healthy. I'm not going to go into exercise in this video or vitamins or any of the supplements that I take just for time's sake. But I really believe in this wholeheartedly. I just feel so much better. When I got off of my sugar cleanse, I remember I had like a little bit of chocolate or something and instantly I got a headache. And so I know that when my body's responding in that way to sugar or to dairy or any of those things, that's not a great thing. So I would definitely say to pay attention to your body. Maybe you want to even do like a journal entry for it. Like when you eat certain things, log what you ate that day and then document how you feel. But the things that I shared are things that I was recommended to remove from my diet. And it really, really, really helped me. Okay, so now I'm just going to read a couple scriptures relating to this. So there's 1 Corinthians 6:19-20, and it's, do you not know that your bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit who is in you, whom you have received from God? You are not your own. You are bought at a price. Therefore, honor God with your bodies. Another one is 3 John 1:2. Beloved, I pray that all may go well with you and that you may be in good health as it goes well with your soul. And the last one I'm going to read is 1 Corinthians 10, verse 31, and it's, so whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do all to the glory of God. So I hope that this inspires someone today to either keep on track with what you're doing if you're already eating healthy, or maybe it helps you to change your perspective with a couple things, want to change a few things. But again, it's definitely not about making anyone feel anxious or bad about anything. Again, I don't weigh my food. I don't count my calories. I very rarely weigh myself. I don't do measurements or anything like that. Again, I'm just eating foods that make me feel good, that I know honor my body, and that I'm good to my body because it is a temple. That also honors God. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, then please share it with someone, and I will see you guys soon. Mwah.